you're my king from Boston. Survive, I'm the king from Boston. Survive, you're the queen.
As the regular season winds down for Season 4, we claim 29-year-old Tommy Hunter off of waivers from Cincinnati. He will be a solid addition to the bullpen. He likely won't be on the playoff roster, but he could be someone for a future use in a future season. So we wrap up the regular season with a 92-70 regular season record. Not quite as good as last year, where I believe we won 99 or 100 games, but nonetheless we win our division, and we'll be going up against the Cardinals in the first round. So Jose Fernandez becomes the odd man out. He will move into a 7th or 8th inning role in the bullpen. It sucks, but I definitely want to shorten my rotation to 4 guys so I can get Price and Moore out there more often. But anyway, we're changing up the format a bit this year. So in previous years, and really all my franchises or associations, I would always just play elimination games. But for this, at least for this playoff run, I'm going to test this out. We're going to play the first game of every series as well as all the elimination games. So we get a little bit more say in how the series goes. So this will be the first game, and then you will not be seeing another game till at least game 3, if not 4. And yeah, I think 4 would be the latest that we would have another episode. So the first game of every series, and then every elimination game after that, or preceding that. So today's pitching matchup is going to be Matt Moore and Jeremy Hellickson, 2 young arms in Major League Baseball. I gave Moore the nod over David Price for Game 1. We'll see if that changes in the future, but you can see the lineups being introduced here. All the festivities going on before the game begins. Should be a great battle. 2 very upper echelon teams in Major League Baseball at this point. The Cardinals, obviously a class organization. You know, one of the probably the best well-run or the most well-run organization in baseball. Just the fact that they pour talent out of their farm system year after year. They're always contending. They've been good for the past decade or so. And the Marlins at this point have a deep farm system, a very nice crop of young players in the Major League system, and this should be a team that's also very good for the next decade. We'll see where it goes. So you're going to take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals lineup on your screen right now. Francisco Lindor, Stalin Cascio, and Oscar Tavares right at the top. Other notable names like Anthony Rendon and Christian Betancourt. A really just crop of young players similar to the Marlins on this team. But Matt Moore came out. He was firing. He strikes out Francisco Lindor to start out the game. Now the next batter, Starlin Rodriguez. The 1-2 count to Rodriguez, and he's going to go down swinging on the 96-mile-an-hour 2-seam right there. And then batting third for the St. Louis Cardinals team is 99 overall Oscar Tavares. And Tavares is going to go down looking on the 4-seamer. So a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Moore. He strikes out the side in the first. He came out balling. So you're going to take a look at the Miami Marlins lineup flashing up on your screen right now. Bogart, Solano, Stanton, Morrison, Soler, Sano, Kubel, Brantley, and more. Nothing out of the ordinary for this team. Kubel, I've decided to platoon with Vinny Machado for the playoffs. Kubel will hit all righties. Machado will hit up against lefties. But pitcher Jeremy Hellickson came out, fired on his own. He gets Stanton to go down there. Now it's 2-2 count to Logan Morrison. Morrison's going to pop this one up to left field. That is going to be tracked down and caught by the left fielder. So it's a solid inning for both pitchers to start out the game. And this would really settle down and become a pitcher's duel. John Mayberry up 1-0 count to the left fielder, and Mayberry crushes this one to deep left field. That one is a no-doubter home run into the bleachers. So John Mayberry and the St. Louis Cardinals strike first. They take a 1-0 lead early on here in Game 1 of this NLDS. This is where Moore he had a very impressive first inning, but he started to falter at this point. He struggled with his location, had to throw a lot of pitches, and just clearly did not have his ace stuff today. And you think you guys will notice that throughout the video. But anyway, John Mayberry, tons of power in this kid. He's not really a kid anymore, but he can take one deep once in a while, and he does so there. He also kills left-handed pitching in this game, which is probably why he was in the lineup today. Because he's not the best against righties, but in this game, he can absolutely destroy lefties. 2-2 count to Jorge Soler. Soler hits this one into right field. That's going to be a diving catch by Brennan Bosch, robbing Jorge Soler of an extra base hit, more than likely, probably a triple if that gets by him. Later in the inning here, 1-2 count to Logan Morrison, and Morrison's going to end up whiffing on that changeup right there. Very dirty pitch by Jeremy Hellickson. And now top 5, here comes Matt Moore. You can see it's really settled down into a pitcher's duel. We're already in the 5th inning. Moore's going to end up walking the pitcher, Jeremy Hellickson. Look at that awful location on the 3-2 pitch. So here's the next batter, Francisco Lindor, the 0-2 count to him. Lindor's going to strike out on the backdoor slider. Left that one up, but it did not matter. Lindor was not able to connect. So that's going to make it 1 out in the inning. Here's Starlin Rodriguez, the 2-2 count. Rodriguez is going to go down swinging on the circle change. Moore is absolutely dominating this top part of the lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals. The next batter up is going to be the potent Oscar Taveras. Taveras is going to line this one into center field for a base hit. That's going to be 2 runners on with 2 outs, with the St. Louis Cardinals are going to try and get something going here as they get towards the meat of their order. The next batter is Alan Craig. The payoff pitch, this is going to be grounded into center field for a base hit. Soler comes up firing. He's going to go to third base, and he guns out Oscar Taveras before the pitcher Jeremy Hellickson touches home, so the run will not score. You can take a look at the replay right here. Watch as the tag will be applied to Oscar Taveras before Jeremy Hellickson crosses home plate. So the run does not count, and it remains 1-0 still. Very impressive play by Jorge Soler, heads up play nonetheless. And here later in the bottom of the 5th inning, Rob Brantley takes this one into left center field. That's going to get down into the gap. Brantley will reach second. He's got a leadoff double for the Miami Marlins. The next batter would be, or I should say 2 batters later, it's going to be Xander Bogaerts with 2 outs. Bogaerts hits this one into right field. That one is going to end up getting over the head and off the wall over Brendan Bosch. So we are going to tie up this game at 1. And Xander Bogaerts coming up clutch with the RBI double. Donovan Solano later in the inning is going to pop this one up to right field. That one is going to be tracked down by Brendan Bosch, and that will retire the side. But Xander Bogaerts comes up huge and ties up the game at 1. So top 6 here. Matt Moore likely facing his last batter of the game. Stellan Rodriguez will ground that one back to the pitcher, and Moore at that point had thrown 101 pitches. That would be his day. He goes 6 innings strong, only allowing that 1 run. Bottom 6 here, Jorge Soler is up 2 outs. Hellickson still going on the mound. He's going to hit Soler, probably upon accident. It's a 1-1 game in the 6th inning. You don't want to allow them to get a runner on base. So the next batter is Miguel Sano, and now Sano is going to end up hitting this one into right field. That one is back, and that one is gone. Brendan Bosch cannot bring that one back, and Miguel Sano comes up huge, hitting a 2-run shot, giving the Marlins a 3-1 lead here late in the ballgame as we enter the latter half of this game. Impressive shot by Miguel Sano. He uses the opposite field better than anyone else in this lineup. It is very impressive what he can do with the bat. So you can see the 6th inning recap right here. Moore would go 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned, 5 Ks. Sano's 2 for 3, Mayberry's 1 for 3, both with a home run of their own. And here comes Jose Fernandez. He's going to come in to pitch the 7th inning. This is why I did not feel that I need to keep Moore in the game any longer. I was very confident with the bullpen, especially with the addition of Jose Fernandez. The 2-2 count to the batter, and Fernandez is going to get them to strike out on the circle change. He has a 1-2-3 7th inning. Clearly does not mind coming out of the bullpen. He is the lowest rated starter on our team at this point, I believe. I think he's tied with Derek Holland, but I wanted Holland due to his experience. So Jim Johnson would come on to pitch the 8th, and we know about how shaky Jim Johnson has been recently. We'll have to monitor that. So top of the 8th, 2 outs, and Brendan Bosch is going to crush this one to deep right field, and that one is going to be gone into the right center field bleachers. Brendan Bosch hits his 2nd home run of the day. The guy who was cut earlier this year by the Detroit Tigers has 2 home runs in an NLDS game in 2016, I believe. So very impressive rebound by Brendan Bosch. He homers off of Jim Johnson, and the shakiness of Jim Johnson continues. We might have to move Fernandez into that 8th inning role and maybe even put Delabar in there in the 7th. I don't know. I'm really not trusting Jim Johnson at this point, but either way, Johnson will retire the 3rd and final out for this inning. So Johnson does get out of the inning, only allowing that 1 run, and we take a lead into the 9th. So you can see, to start out the top of the 9th inning, J.J. Hardy is going to come in and pinch it in, I believe, what would be, I think it'd be the pitcher's role, or the pitcher spot. So Aroldis Chapman will come on and try to close this game out. The young, well, not so young left-hander anymore. He's 28 years old, had a very impressive regular season. We'll hope to continue that into the playoffs. So he would retire J.J. Hardy. Here comes Francisco Lindor up with 1 out in the inning, and that is going to be deep, and that is just going to hit off the top of the wall. That was about half a foot away from being a tie ball game, but Lindor gets on base. It's a 1-out double. Now Stellan Rodriguez up. Rodriguez will line this one past Logan Morrison at first. Stand over to field. He fires it in. The tying run is being waved around. The throw to the plate is not in time, and the save is blown. The game is tied. Stellan Rodriguez comes up huge. Oscar Taveras up next, the 1-0 count. This one is going to be lined into left center field. That's going to get past Jason Kubel. The go-ahead run will come around and score, and it's an RBI double for Oscar Taveras. Aroldis Chapman has blown this game, and the Cardinals take a 4-3 lead. Brendan Bosch up now later in the inning, 2 outs. This one's going to be hit into right field. That one is going to get over the diving glove of Giancarlo Stanton. 1 run will come around and score. Here goes Bosch into third base. His incredible day continues. Now 2 home runs and an RBI triple. It's 5-3 Cardinals. Now later in the inning, John Mayberry up. We know how he kills lefties. He hits this one into center field for a base hit, and it's going to be 6-3 Cardinals. Have absolutely blown this game open, And now Aroldis Chapman later in the inning is going to end up finally getting out of the inning as he strikes out whoever that is. I'm not actually sure who that is. Looks like George Kataris on the slider right there. So here comes Jorge Rondon. He will come in to try and close this game out for the St. Louis Cardinals. The 27-year-old will have to come up huge here if he wants his team to take a 1-0 series lead. Whoever wins this game really is on the fast track to making the NLCS. The loser would have to beat the opposition 3 times out of 4, so this is a huge game. Luis Cruz would come in and pinch hit. Already a runner on first, 2-1 count to Cruz, and Cruz is going to end up hitting this one. It is going to be stabbed by the second baseman, fires onto Craig at first, and the ball game is over. The St. Louis Cardinals, with a come-from-behind victory, 6-3 is your final score. They take a 1-0 series lead on what we all thought would be a World Series run for the Miami Marlins. Gets off to a slow start as they will have to come behind from a 1-0 deficit. Left to win 3 out of 4 against the very formidable St. Louis Cardinals team that now has home field advantage. So we'll see what happens in the rest of the series. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy. Peace. I'm out. Peace.